Hey folks, it's Ted Cantu, and we're coming right up after the eclipse. Hopefully you like that joke there with our logo. 2001, A Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick. Good stuff. Welcome back to the show. I'm surprised at the news today, the reports I'm hearing about people that have retina burn, they have eyeballs burning, that sensation. Now they can't read, they can't watch TV, they can't really use a computer or drive, and it could last as long as 6 months. I'm amazed that the people that hear the information, the good information of what not to do, and yet they go out and do it anyway and are damaged, maybe permanently. Maybe that should be the theme of today's video, because in the past, I've told you what to do. And I've showed you what to do. I showed you the results of what can happen when you follow the right protocols of SEO. And still, a lot of you don't do it. It's a fun thing to look at? Wayback Machine. Now, Wayback Machine is a video, like a website, not a video, but a website that you can tap into called the Internet Archive. You can go into Google and type in Wayback Machine, and there's a box, a little search box where you can type in your website. You can type in my website too. That's interesting. And what this thing does, it takes screenshots of your website throughout the years. And I just happen to go in there and look at some of my home improvement victories, or I was telling people what to do, showing them what to do. And yet, so many people, website owners that were in the home improvement space, did not even follow my instructions. It's interesting. And I want to share this with you because it's really enlightening. I found an old client of mine called J.R. Neely. Now, J.R. Neely was based out of East Lansing, and they serviced the Lansing, East Lansing area, St. John's, Owasso, Lansing. Okay, so here's what we did. I believe we had 256 website domains, and we kind of plastered the web on top of the SEO that we were doing. So we had a presence in every one of these little counties and districts and areas and counties and towns. And that was pretty cool. What's really interesting, though, is that on the Google results, here's a picture right here. And I'm getting like 8 out of the top 10. This picture here with the bay windows on it says I'm getting 6 out of the top 10. But in reality, we got the video spots. We've got additional web media that's being ranked on page 1. And we did this for every category. So from bay windows to metal roofs to the slate roofing and the different types of storm windows. That's incredible. So, and there was some verbiage there. I got a copy of it. I'm going to read you what I wrote because it still stands true today. All right, you ready? And it says 35% of all web traffic is totally fake, which is pretty bad, actually. And I know because I was running ads back then, and we used to get all kinds of clicks from Guam. Yeah, Guam. Who goes there? Japan, with a JP. And also it was, I want to say Fiji or Fuji was in there. Puerto Rico. Google and YouTube are not admitting to any of this, but we were being sent junk, and I could tell in my traffic feeds that these bots were coming in. That was the other thing, BOT. So .bot was coming in, along with a .jp, Guam, Puerto Rico, all the wonderful places that drive business. And I think we got, I'm being sarcastic, of course. Well, we weren't getting local clicks. So that was really interesting. There was no live person I could talk to, and from Google or Facebook or anybody. And we were getting just the runaround. So that's what prompted me to really narrow down on some really solid SEO strategies and techniques, and then put them into the sites so they would be on page one and be readily found. So, and then I think I mentioned before, about 70% of all the ad spend that's going on right now is waste. Your competitors click on your links. Your competitors, other marketers, not so much the homeowners. So I would really push the organic end of things as far as possible. And we got some more pictures here too. I was doing a lot of this back then. I was actually creating more, 8 out of 10 type scenarios. 6 out of the top 10 Google searches would go to my clients. Still a great thing to strive for. What I see a lot when I go out and I meet with business owners is that they're not really telling me the whole story. And what I mean by that is I get a lot of search engine, the content for their websites are stemming from a template sales copy. In other words, when they bought the template from either GoDaddy or Wix or whatever, it comes with your own search and comes with your own content in there. Okay. But I have the same people telling me that they hire top rate copywriters to come up with this stuff. I don't want to get into, a shoving match here, but I will say that it is weird to see some of the same copy pop up on multiple pages. A copywriter is not going to do that for you. He's actually going to deliver you a lot of material. The best sites I've seen with copy, sales copy, is lawyers. They seem to put a lot more effort into their search engine copy. I shouldn't say search engine copy. Let's just say web copy and make it simple. So that is something I look at when I help people, when I help business owners, is I want to make sure the copy in there is going to sustain. You got to remember there's a keyword count as far as how many keywords you can put on every page. That number has to also balance out with the way it's written on the page, and it's got to go into your source code. If you get greedy and just start shoving all kinds of keywords in there, and I've seen people do this like 50 at a time, what ends up happening is your page gets glossed over and it doesn't get ranked or indexed. Because remember what we said, only 18% of all websites actually get ranked on Google, only 18%. That's not a whole lot. So it pays to be honest, pays to be observant, because quite often, you will get skipped over. Your competitors, here's what I found out about competitors. A lot of times they're there just by default. So what I mean by that is their sites can be optimized only 40% worth, which means that only 40% accuracy on their sites. And you can do a site grader. And what happens is those sites are they can be passed up if you do the right things on your site. You could skip over pages of sites that are half optimized. That's the goal. That's the fun part. And I think it's great to keep in mind that whatever you do, you want to make sure that you're answering questions for your audience. That seems to be the real thing now. I used to really pay attention to things like Penguin, the Google changes, the algorithm changes. What was it, Hummingbird? There's been a lot of them. But over time, what you're going to find out is that I think just like really writing good content, answering questions, organizing your content correctly, and not being greedy with all of the tags that you need to put into your head code, your head's tag space, and to be watchful of hyper connections or hyperlinks between your pages that they're actually relevant. They're not just random. These things really become important. I think backlinks are pretty important too, obviously, but more importantly is that your content is it's got the right amount, the right balance. It's like walking between the raindrops. You really have to be careful what you put in. And also, I think have a really a central idea of who it is that you want to attract on your sites is really also important by industry. So you're not just generic. It takes a lot more than just a regular copywriter sometimes. You need a marketing strategist and also somebody who's got an idea of how to actually do this for search engines so they'll take notice. All right. Couple victories here. We just did some videos for Robin Hitchcock. They're popping up on Google in the Chicago market. Robin Hitchcock, of course, is the surrealist pop musician from the UK. He's going on tour and we're working with him. So this is really cool stuff. This is actually coming up. Our HVAC videos are coming up right over here. You see these in the Flint market and also national market. This is interesting too. The content for HVAC is very varied and sometimes it doesn't go deep enough, which allows your competitors to really move into your spaces. And unfortunately, they can actually do, they can eat your lunch. But there's things that you can put into your sites that would be, beneficial. I always advocate, site maps should be in there. And of course, there are 7 different types. And they have to be coded properly. All right. And that's for the Flint market. That's up there. Roofing companies have the same problem. And here is another video we just did for the legal profession right here. We're popping up in Farmington Hills. And that's pretty cool. And we'll be doing some more things in that area, in that space. So closing up on my notes for today, I've got material here from the past. This is a different thing too, that we, at the Win, I've actually worked with companies and helped them expand their brick and mortar locations. Not too many search engine people can make that claim. We've done it for beauty industries, wholesale industries, and everything from home improvement, supply companies. Actually made multiple brick and mortar locations for our clients. I actually also we put a couple of dentists in retirement, which is pretty cool. I've done it more than once. And actually helped our medical people sell their practice. I had one guy in Los Angeles, he sold his medical practice. He bought a brand new, what was it, a Jaguar? And I never heard from him again. I think he just, I don't know what happened to him, but he's rode off into the sunset, literally. So it says in my old copy, this is from 2017. Okay. And it says, more importantly, we've made money for our clients again and again. And imagine what we can do for your business. So that's our success roll call right here. You got to see it. And we'll be putting these on our site at tedcantu.com. And also, you can see other examples of what we've done in the past on previous campaigns. These pictures are pretty cool. They're worth looking at because you're going to see that anything that's circled in red, that means that's a first page placement. And then when you see all these things ganging up on page one, it's pretty cool because we're popping up more than 4 times, 5 times, 8 times. There was one time I actually did this for we had one category beat for 3 solid pages. Yeah, which is really cool. And 248, that's our number. 248-277-6141. And I don't do any kind of like, spam, we call it the black hat stuff. It's all straightforward SEO, content delivery, the way it's structured. It's so important that you get this right. And right now it's a home improvement season, so it's important to get in front of the many people as you can. And also, let me just mention this really quickly. We're actually training SEO companies now on some of the sales, closing, and promotion, because we're getting our results now in 5 days. It used to take about 3 months. I was right there with a lot of my other competitors. 3 months to 6 months was a typical type thing that we would do. It was a slow burn. I started using mobile pages, working quicker and faster, coding with mobile applications, and our stuff started to appear really quickly, within 5 days. So on Google, that's been the company record so far. Pretty amazing. Actually, there was another one we did one time for a movie review for the Fleshtones, the rock and roll band, the Fleshtones, and that appeared on page 1 of Google in the same day. And it was really, really bizarre, but it's true. And it kind of freaked me out. This is during the whole COVID lockdown period where I had nothing better to do than to just basically fix the code and create a better product. So that's where we are right now. We do have open enrollment for new companies that want to come in and just basically pepper the web with their brand and their company. So make sure you reach out to us and always tune in for new insight. We're getting in new results now, and we're posting them on a more regular basis, and we look forward to be working with you. Again, this is Ted Cantu coming at you from the Win, and I am a published author in SEO. I've been doing this for over 20-something years, actually going back down to 2003, if you can believe it. That's when I first started getting work with Michael Cheney from the UK. He actually taught me how to do search engine optimization, and I learned from a lot of other online marketers too, like Mark Joyner and all these guys. I think really honestly, in the UK, they probably just sit in their houses all day because it's always raining. That's always been my perception. And they just got good at the web. There's no other explanation for it. But I've been doing this too with the same type of ferocity and getting amazing results. I'm also an avid Dan Kennedy marketer, direct response, sales copy, and a graphic artist as well. That's where I got my start. But now I'm helping local businesses just like you. And remember, if I can overcome all my challenges online marketing, you can too. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you online.